Go.
Will, what are you talking about?
Are you recording?
I just heard him click. I just heard him
Don't
click
ask.
and say, "Will, what are you
Don't
talking
ask.
about?"
The whole point is to not know. Don't ask.
Well, yeah, but we know now.
No, we don't, because he didn't answer.
All right, fine.
So
You don't know what? What are you talking about?
if they're recording or not.
No, yeah, he is.
Are you guys okay?
True. Here, let go. Tell your life story.
Alright, well, I was born
No shit.
as a male.
You know, I was
Would I
born in the
identify as-
USA.
Shut up.
When was
Shut
your
up.
first dip?
Let's actually let him like give
Okay.
2 seconds. Can y'all shut up?
I'm gonna try, but I don't know.
You're
Keep
tripping
going.
back.
Yeah, alright, I was born in Texas.
Nice.
Based.
Yes, sir.
22.
Pretty good.
Also based.
Looking for a job, don't have one. Shit
3 times based.
Yo, I don't think you understand. Like I said, life story, and you skipped a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, bro, like, you
Born
gotta-
being 22, my guy.
Whoa.
Like,
Yeah, so bored.
Born in Texas, comma 22.
22.
That's all I have.
My dad
You
was
see
just
Mount
my dad
Cali.
was just telling me this the other day. He was like, I look. He's like 50. He said, I look back on my life, and there's like 4 moments I remember that stand out, and then it's like, oh, I'm 50.
Yeah, but you're
4?
not like 22, and like, come
I don't
on,
know.
shut up.
I feel like I've had a pretty
But the best part was he said one of the ones he remembered
Tell us
was being
about-
able to talk his way out of a ticket because he was trying to return something to Sears and didn't have the receipt and was belligerent, and the cops came, and he was able to pull out the receipt from the bar proving he had only had 3 beers so he could go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
All right, beer lad,
All
tell us about
right.
Continue.
tell us about the first time like
Tell me about elementary school.
your feelings were deeply hurt. Like you were.
Who was the
embarrassed.
first girl you can remember as like a romantic?
I got this. Well, not like romantic. But
Well, I mean,
remember-
like having a little girl crush.
I
First,
remember
tell
there
us your first real pain.
Alright, they go hand in hand, so.
Oh yeah.
I was in kindergarten, and I remember this girl. I
Uh-huh.
don't
Shut the
she
fuck
was,
up,
like,
Will.
blonde hair.
No, keep going. We're listening. Will does this to everything.
I'm giggly tonight. I don't know what. I don't know.
You smoked too much
Alright,
weed.
so it was like playtime towards the end of the day where you just like go around and fuck around with
Uh-huh.
dumb shit. And
Yeah.
I remember she was like under this table, and I had a little play phone that I was playing with. I thought it'd be
True.
pretty funny if I just like dropped the pay phone down on her head.
Face.
Yep.
Legend.
I did. And she just started crying like really loudly. And the teacher came over and she was like, "Hey, you're going timeout now." So I spent like the entire playtime just in timeout while she was crying and like going to the nurse.
That
Yeah,
sounds
that's
good.
pretty base.
And she like moved like a week later. I don't know if it was because of me.
Nice.
Probably
Don't
gave her, like,
know.
a fat welt on her head where you dropped the
They
phone.
told her.
You know
they told
it's
her
rolled up.
parents like she's getting
That shit hurt.
horribly.
You know, that's like that shit where like if you get hit in the nuts, there's like a good chance it develops, like a
Like a tumor.
cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
think
pretty
if you
sure.
drop a phone on your head,
Oh,
there's a
fuck.
good chance you just die.
You know, you like
Yeah.
lowered her IQ a bit, like her development. You hit
Yeah, I
like
mean-
her developing cortex in her brain, dude.
I feel like the school itself did that anyway.
Yeah, she probably still had mushy like head and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
You dropped it on her soft spot.
I remember on the bus ride home in preschool one day, I just like suddenly got like a urge to ask a girl out. It had never crossed my mind before, and I just look at this one girl next to me on the bus, like the next seat over, and go, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I'd never spoken to her before, and she just started laughing at me, and she stood up and said, "He just asked me to be his girlfriend." And then the whole bus started laughing.
Oh my god.
And I didn't get off the bus for like 35 minutes.
Really, how it be?
That's pretty good.
It was a bit brutal. Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember the time I was like really embarrassed, like in front of a girl or something.
I'm surprised you can even remember when you were that young.
I actually
Oh yeah, my first memory is falling down the stairs from when
Yeah,
we lived
you
in
always
Mississippi,
talk
and
about-
I was 1 year old.
You always talk about like how good you remember shit. Yeah.
I do.
One time,
Yeah,
one
you
time a
do.
girl
Like
kissed me.
that always comes up that you have a really good memory.
I think I always mention that I have a really bad one.
I have a fucked up story.
Tell
Who
me
was
about
So-
saying something?
Someone just start talking.
I was gonna
So
say one
fart.
time. Fuck you. One time, this girl kissed me on the cheek, and my response was to tell the teacher on her.
Base.
What?
Base.
Oh my
Well,
god.
was it
Oh,
really
that-
consent?
That reminds me of a story. I was way too old for this shit. It was freshman year of high school. A girl was talking to me, and she was like, "Yeah, me and Stacy and Chad are going to the drive-in movie theater with some friends. Do you want to come with me?" And I thought it was a trick, so I just said, "Fuck off." And then lo and behold, that night on Snapchat, they were having a big time at the movies.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
You
you
had
showed them.
Snapchat.
Yeah, what the
You
fuck,
were in
Snapchat
high
in
school.
high
Oh
school?
my god, dude.
Fucking
Yeah.
boomers.
That dude, Snapchat's old.
It was like just coming out at the time.
I was like midway through
It's
college.
true.
when that
It is
shit
pretty
came out.
old, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you, Kelris?
I'm 26.
What
I'm
the
28.
Oh, you-
like,
I'm fucking old as shit.
I'm 45. What the fuck?
Y'all are youngins. Poop man, where's your mic at?
What do you mean?
It's in the next room.
Sound a little low lately.
Wait, hold on. What about
oh
now?
fuck.
No
The
change.
exact same. Literally nothing.
Really nothing.
Dude,
What's his
like
mic?
less than a millisecond passed between him saying, "Hold on, what about now?"
Hold on,
Bro,
wait.
who wants to hear my dream about smoking weed?
No, I want to hear like Steph Doug said he was gonna had a weird thing happen to him.
It was soul
Let us
crushing
stay on
moment.
topic.
It was a soul crushing moment where I was in middle school at it was gym class,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like one of the hottest girls in school at the time, and
What age?
we were like decent friends. I think it was 7th grade, and she was with she was one of the popular girls, you know. She had like her crew of popular friends, and I was
Oh.
sort of like the special ed clique, and so it was fun. We were in-
Oh my god.
I was in like a behavioral like side of the school where kids didn't behave well. I was in like behavioral shit. So
Oh yeah.
That's what my mom teaches, dog.
she like came
Retarded
up to me
niggas.
and she was like, "Hey," and she put
Aren't you
her
that
hands
retarded?
around my head. She put like her hands around my head and gave me a big fat kiss.
That's
But
really
what I didn't-
disrespectful in
What
Southeast
I didn't
Asia.
realize was she had her thumbs over my mouth when she kissed it.
What?
So she kissed her thumbs.
Wow.
What?
What a
Yeah.
bitch.
I thought I got, I
What
thought
was
I
it,
got
like
my
a
first,
dare or
I thought I got
something?
my first kiss, and it was
Uh-huh.
from this popular girl. So I was like, on top of the world.
What a fucking
Yeah.
whore.
And
Yeah.
I found out a couple days later that what she did, and I was just like, oh.
You found out a couple days later.
A couple days later.
I was like,
Just sitting there in gym thinking about it for a couple days.
yeah, and then
Oh my God.
Pondered.
yeah,
That's
that
fucking
fucked me
hilarious.
up, dude. That wasn't right. From then on, I started to become really bad in school. Like I got even worse behaviorally. It
Base.
tanked me. So
I
got
wish
put
I
into-
acted
I
out.
got put into a stronger program from
That's
that. and,
rather unfortunate.
Alternative school. I wasn't trying to make a joke.
And then I went high school. They also put me in like an alternative ed like classroom.
Wait, were you in there? Were you in there with like criminals? Were you in there with criminals or retards?
There was
Both,
there's special ed, but then there's alternative ed. Special ed's for like actual people with learning disabilities, and then there's behavioral for like behavioral problems. Like
Yeah,
most
like
of the people
remedial.
in there were like drug addicts and
Okay.
like and criminals, and people used to just bring
My kinda
bottles
crowd.
full of vodka and just drink all day long.
Yeah, we did
Mm.
that.
Nice.
No,
And,
we didn't. Shut up.
What?
I'm like I'm like disgusted by what I'm hearing. Like, what the fuck? And you're like, yo,
Yeah.
we did that. I'm sitting here about to say, dude, that shit doesn't happen in schools in the
No,
South, and you're
I
just
had,
like, yo, we did that shit.
I had all honors
Alright,
classes
wholesome,
except
upstanding gentleman.
I had all honors classes except government, and it was full of the kids who brought vodka in water bottles.
That's crazy.
One time, the black girl lit hers on fire. Like seared a kid, it seared a kid's eyebrow and like burnt some hair off his arm, and
Oh fuck,
the teacher was just like, "Fucking, don't do it again."
dude, that just made me remember like at my high school, like your senior year in science, they do like fucking bottle rockets, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
a
I
big
don't,
thing.
but yeah.
It's like a big thing. Like the class goes outside to the parking lot and launches them, and they take pictures for the yearbook and all that good shit. And like I remember like my first 3 years being like excited as fuck about that, and then like my junior year, where I was like, yeah, next year I get to do the bottle rockets. The senior class that year, my junior year, they did it, and one kid like leaned over like. No, he didn't. There was some kind of fucking freak accident. He lost his eye. Like the rocket flew into his fucking eye.
God.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Like I was about to make up some bullshit. I don't know exactly what happened. The kid just lost his eye. Like everybody was talking about it at
That is
school.
so
And
fucked.
like
I fucking
And he
hate
came
when that
back.
happened.
he came back the next week, like eye patch and everything, dude, and lost his fucking eye.
And like, what was the point of this?
Part of town like 3 months later, dude.
Damn.
I got one
Yeah.
more little thing.
Wait, what happened? I
Lay
actually
it on
Same
me.
middle school experience.
I've got
So-
one after you.
There was the special ed kid table, then there was the alternative ed table, and then there was the popular girl table right next to us. So I had this really awesome pen, and I loved it. It was a really cool pen, and this girl was like, "Hey, I need to do my homework. Can I borrow a pen?" And I was like, "Sure, milady." So I gave her a pen to borrow. Right? Come
Yep.
the end of lunch, I was like, "Can I have the pen back?" And she's like, "I like it. I
No.
think I'm gonna keep it." And she laughed, and I was like, "Can I have it
That
back?" And
bitch.
she's like, "Can I have it back?" And she's like, "No." And so the next day,
you
I-
killed
Dude, right.
at the end of lunch,
her.
I took a bottle of chocolate milk, opened the
Oh,
cap,
no.
and just placed it in her bag.
Mhm.
And the next day, we had a new bag with new binders, new paper, new folders, new everything.
Oh, that bitch.
Dude,
Nice.
she must have got fucked up from that chocolate milk, because I put it right in beneath her fucking binders. I put it right in the middle of the bag. She must have got fucked by that chocolate milk.
Holy bro.
So that was the best karma.
Chaotic evil,
Felt.
Steph
Yeah,
Nubbs.
that felt so good to do. I mean, chaotic evil would be if she didn't do anything to me, you know?
Well, it wasn't
That was
lawful
like-
evil.
That was like chaotic
chaotic.
retard. Maybe she was flirting with me.
Chaotic retard.
Chaotic.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, this chick was messing
That's
around with
all.
me, so I dumped a thing of milk.
Bro,
love
she
that.
literally stole from me. She fucking
This
sinned.
girl is trying to be cute.
She
and
sinned.
flirt.
She
That's in
sinned.
the Ten
Chocolate milk her
Commandments.
book bag.
That bitch. She sinned.
So I
What
cost
What
her
if she just
parents,
had a
like,
crush on you,
money.
bro?
I can't believe she sinned.
Would she? Is that what they would do if they had a crush?
Yeah, they'd be
Oh,
like,
nice.
no, like, I'm
Fuck her.
keeping it. And then you have like something to talk to her about, like forever. She has your, I don't know, like yeah, dude.
Well, what age are you? Like,
That time
sound
we
young.
I don't know
so-
why I'm doubting myself. Like yeah, she might have been flirting with you.
Damn. So, in 7th grade, there was this girl I was like kind of talking to, and I talked to her one day about the difference in the words sherbet and sherbert.
No, you
I don't know why. Yeah, I did. And
What?
so she started referring to me as sherbet, and so I fucking hated that. And she would call me sherbet in front of my friends and stuff. And one day she said, "All right, bye sherbet, time for class." And she
Oh
went
my
into
God.
class. And I turned around to my friend and said, "I'm gonna fucking kill myself." And a teacher heard, and like held my hand and walked me into the guidance counselor's office. And so I was just sitting in there waiting, and there was this other dude next to me, and we were just waiting on the guidance counselor, and a special ed dude comes out, like one of those like real bad Down syndrome like orangutan looking fellas, and he like limps his way out, and he says like bye or whatever, and the guy next to me goes, that guy's a fucking loser. And I was like, oh, all right. And I walked into the office and was like, I don't really know why I'm here. It was a joke. And the guidance counselor had to like call my parents and had to like tell all of my teachers to like not give me homework for a couple weeks.
Okay, what was the worst thing you ever did though?
Who?
Anyone. I got my assistant principal picked me up at a class once. That was probably the best thing that ever happened.
Damn. I threw a textbook.
Do you mean like what's the worst thing we got in trouble for at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, a teacher accused me of cheating, and I was just like, I didn't cheat. And she was like, yeah, you did. And I said, no, I didn't. Don't say it again. And she said, but you did. And so I hurled my like 3-inch textbook at her desk and like destroyed her laptop and a bunch of picture frames.
What the fuck?
I don't know why. It was just felt like doing it. I don't know.
Bro.
It was disrespect, is what it was.
One time,
Asked her not to say it again, and
in
she
grade-
did. She disrespected you.
man,
Yeah.
dude,
You guys,
we had a teacher like that in grade 9, and like we hated her so much that when she left the classroom, this one guy like he would pee in her mug a little bit, like he like pissed in the cup.
Fucking this time.
Well, like, yeah, I don't know. He thought it was the funniest thing.
I think I've told this story before, like on the podcast, but the worst
Lay
thing
it on us.
What happened?
73 people in CC right now.
Wait on it.
Imagine logging into RuneScape.
I said lay it on us.
Lay it on us.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said wait on us. I was like, what?
No, lay it on us.
Alright, so I told you it was about my freshman year. We had this English teacher who had just come back from like brain surgery to get cancer out of her brain,
Ooh.
and the surgery made her retarded. You tell him, Chester. The surgery made him like fucking. The surgery made this lady legitimately retarded. Like she had forgotten how to spell like 3-letter words. Like she would be
Amazed.
writing. She would be writing on the board.
The free A
ask-
in that class.
Yeah, and like ask us how to spell the word she wanted to spell. Like,
Oh dear.
and she fucking sucked. So like we would make fun of her and like bully her, and like one kid did that same thing. Like he pissed in her mug, but like everybody snitched on him as soon as he came in and he got it like spelled or something.
Oh, no one snitched on
Damn.
him for us though. It was the fucking funniest thing. Oh man,
Yeah.
that
Face
teacher was
Canada.
awesome.
It was like the two goody two shoes white girls that snitched on him. Like everybody else hated that lady.
I hated the goody two shoes.
But
White
They were
bitches.
cute,
They
though.
I was riding
Never
with
let me
them
have fun.
always. I hated them. Always ratting on me. They're actually
Yeah, that teacher like fucking. like, that teacher had like such a problem with me and my friends that like she looked up our information and like called our parents like personally, and like I just remember getting home one day and like my mom was pissed out of her mind, and I was like excited to tell her. I was like excited. I was excited to tell her I'd gotten like an A on my math test or some bullshit to get home, and she's like mad as dick. It's like you can tell like shit. And I was like, what happened? And she's like, who is Miss, I don't remember her name. And I was like, my English teacher. Why? And she's like, you know, that poor woman has survived brain cancer, and she's calling me up crying, saying that you won't leave her alone, and that you're making her doubt if she should still be a teacher, and and like it's like fuck nah, like I'm just fucking like 16. I'm just making fun of some old lady. Like it ain't all that. It wasn't all that
It ain't that
serious
deep.
for me. But damn, like yeah. But she
Yeah.
told me that. Like yeah.
We had a
Stop messing with that lady after the
teacher have a brain aneurysm and fucking die one year,
based.
just like in class. I wasn't in her class, but I had her at one point, and so her husband was like the ROTC guy for the school, and they had everyone write him or like write letters to their family for like, I don't know, just saying like hope everything's good. And mine, I wrote like, Mrs. Whatever was super kind to me. She always said good morning to me every morning, and it always made my day. And then just turned it in, and it wasn't true. I just made it up. And the next day, I got called into the principal's office, and he was in there crying, and he shook my hand and was like, "Your letter meant so much to me, and I wanted to thank you personally. She really was a light in all of our lives." And I was like,
Aw.
"You got it, you got it, Chief." Yup.
Yes, sir.
That was a rough one.
Oh, fuck. That's cool.
Anyone got anything on Q?
Yeah, one of my
this
teachers
one,
in
like,
middle
About your
school
weed
had like
dream
a
story.
stroke and like her right side like went paralyzed.
Smoke weed story, Will.
One of my teachers in middle school had breast cancer and she passed away like a year later.
Based.
Damn.
Bro, that's awful. We had a teacher so bad that we ruined.
No one said anything.
Fucking breast cancer.
Who said base?
No.
Base.
No, but we had a teacher and we ruined her so bad. Like we pissed in bottles and hid them in like the counters around because we were like a science room, and like it got disgusting. And we were a school that taught like grade 5 to 9, and we were in grade 9 at the time, and I got sent. I like near the end of the year I had to switch classes because she just kicked me out entirely. And then but for like 1 month before that I had to do all my classes in the principal's office for her. But,
Now explain to the listeners what a principal is.
No, explain to me what kind of fucking Canadian bullshit a school that does grades 5 to 9 is. What the fuck?
yeah,
My school in Arizona was K through 10.
I don't know why, but they do it.
Damn.
What the fuck? How do you?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it was
and it was
funny.
big as fuck too. It had like 6 floors.
Yeah,
That shit was
special ed
wild.
school. Special ed
There are
school.
Special ed
K to
school.
12. It was
Explain to the kids. Explain to the listeners what a special ed school is.
Bro, you're okay. I'm there in kindergarten. I'm in special ed, and there were 12th graders, like seniors, like 18-year-olds,
Mhm.
and every Friday was ice cream day. So
Okay.
there was in the cafeteria there was an ice cream bar, right? You can get like all these different kinds of ice creams with toppings and everything. So we went in, and the kindergartners went,
Wow.
but there was like a scheduling mix-up where the 12th
shit.
graders came in at the same time we
Did
did.
they give you drugs?
No, they would
Battle
fuck
Oh!
with the kindergartners so bad. Like one of
Why
those,
wouldn't
one
you?
of
What?
the guys was like a drug addict, and he was like 18 fucking something, right? And he's looking at me like he's giving me shit eyes.
You're telling me the grade
And-
12s fucked with 6-year-olds?
Yeah, and
What?
they would like yell at us, and they would like
Fuck.
scream, and the like security guards had to come and like escort them out because they were just like tormenting us.
This is New York, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad I was there.
It wasn't like a fun time because they were so fucking scary because they were literally,
Explain.
like,
Explain
I
to the
don't-
listeners where New York is.
I don't like to remember that fucking kids actually grow up in places like New York.
Yeah, I mean it was very scary when you had to like walk through the halls and you would see a 12th grader.
Man,
Damn.
I went to
Fucking
Catholic
bad.
school, and like we did 3 to 12. Like Catholic schools are 3 to 12, and like all the grade 12s are cool. I don't know. Kind of fuck out. I
Yeah,
guess
because
they were
they're not
Catholic.
New
Special
York.
ed.
We're like the worst people on earth for.
Damn.
Yeah, good point.
All right, y'all ready for the dream I had that isn't real?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I had this dream on the 4th of July. I can't iterate enough. This is not a real thing that happened.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
you sucked a
Yeah,
dream.
yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Right,
get
so
it.
it happened
I
in
mean-
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened in Minecraft. That's what it is.
It
Um,
was literally crafted in your mind.
Right.
So my Minecraft dream friend was like, "Hey Will, I got something for you. Come in the bathroom." And I was like, "Aight." So I walk in there and he's got one of those gravity bomb things,
Ooh.
and he's like, "Smoke it." And I'm like, "Aight." And so I do, and I look up, and he's just rolling laughing, and I can't breathe, like, at all. And so I, like, managed to mutter out, like, what was that? What's so funny? And he was like, yeah, that was, like, so much keef, dude. And I was like, I don't know what that is, man. And he was like, okay, well, you're gonna feel it shortly. And then he just, like, walked me to the couch, I guess, and handed me the controller, because we were playing Madden. And I just, like, stared at the screen, unable to move for, like, 2 hours, because I was remembering, like, how I was as a baby, learning, like, what thoughts to do certain movements.
What thoughts to do?
Well, no, I, like, remember
What should I
what thought pattern to make to, like, scratch my nose with my right arm, and I saw that as, like, a lime green color, and fucking, I don't know, it was just weird. And I remembered how I learned colors, like, the word green sounded like agreeing to me, and so I always thought of green as, like, a happy color, and that's how I memorized the color green was called green. And fuck, I, like, went
Nigga,
through all
what?
the, yeah, I went through all the colors,
Yeah, you're
and the
fucking
whole
weird.
time,
Yeah,
they were
all
just,
time.
he was just smashing me in Madden. He was just it was like 140 to nothing.
I don't know
And,
what it is about. Like,
We'll
I
both
got
dissociate on the couch.
I
You
honestly,
needed something.
I
You needed
disassociated
something
the
to help you
fuck out.
remember. You needed something to help you remember what color was which.
I was like weeks old.
You couldn't remember what green was.
I was a
Why you were
fucking baby.
weeks old?
You're
I
telling
was
me you
remembering, like,
You
I
said
remembered,
if you were
I
fucking
remembered
weeks
how I
old,
see
you
myself.
You
As a
said you
baby.
fucking remembered green because it sounded like agreeing, and now you're telling me you're weeks old. You don't know
Weeks
what
to
a word
months,
means.
weeks to months. All right.
Even months, you wouldn't know what a word is.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would.
When did you say your first word, bro?
Oh my god.
I probably said my first word maybe 2 hours after I was born.
You guys want to know why I was in special ed?
Sure.
Yeah.
I said my first word when I was 4 years old.
Oh yeah.
What?
Dude,
like the littlest brother from season 8 of Malcolm in the Middle.
maybe maybe he just ain't had nothing to say.
That's what my mom said. My mom
He
was
was
like,
just
nothing
thinking.
was wrong at you, sweetie. You had just nothing to say.
He was just thinking.
I was like, thanks,
Y'all
Mom."
seen that like Facebook screenshot where it's like some black lady talking about like I shouldn't have smoked while I was pregnant and my baby came out high, and some black boomer just comments like maybe he ain't got nothing to say.
Oh, but it took me like 4 hours to come down in that dream. And are you getting a fucking phone call?
Yeah, my
Pick
bad.
the fuck up.
Hey,
Big Buzz Man.
Poop Man.
Big Buzz Man.
Come on, damn it.
Big Buzz Man.
Come
All
on,
right.
damn it.
Oh, he's live.
Who you talking to?
No.
Put me on.
Oh, I'm at Christian.
Streets are calling.
Put your feet on the phone.
Nah.
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 Tell
Tell him I said
No.
what up.
Ask if he wants to be on the podcast.
Tell him to turn on CNN. It's happening.
Ding dong. Hello?
Wait, what's happening?
All right.
Is it actually
I
happening?
think he turned off.
Big Ding Dong Man.
All right. Anyway, in that
Fuck up. Oh, I'll be right back.
yes, sir. In this Minecraft dream, I was just sitting there, and I remember my buddy going, "Hey, man, this'll help," and he handed me a CBD oil like squirter thing. And he was like, "Put that under your tongue and sit there for a couple minutes, then swallow it." And I did that and came down pretty good. But he got fucking what are those nuts you crack open? Pistachios.
These nuts!
Oh my god. He got pistachios and was next to me on the couch, and I'd hold my hand out because I couldn't like think or move really, and he'd put a pistachio in it, and I'd try and open it for like 10 minutes and then give it back, and he'd crack it for me and I'd eat it. And I remember it was like a perfect deja vu to doing that with my dad on the couch in like 2000, the year 2000, at the age of 4, watching NASCAR. and he'd crack open pistachios and give them to me. And I was like, damn, I haven't had that thought literally in 20 years.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie. That it sounds to me like you had a fucking acid flashback in your dream. To be honest, because you
I
did
may
acid
have.
a few months ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I did twice. But
that's like
anyway,
completely possible.
after a couple hours, I came all the way down, or not all the way, but a pretty good way. And I don't remember what it was, but we were just playing Madden and talking, and I went, "What was the name of that little fella who picked off Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl for the Saints?" And they were like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, and then "The little fella," and I kept calling him a little fella for like 10 minutes, and they couldn't find it. And I was like, "It was the year Katrina happened." Because I always tell this story, and they were like, "Why the fuck are you always telling a story about a 2006 Super Bowl?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know right now." But
That
then I
wasn't
started laughing. It wasn't even 2006. That was the thing. The Poop Man echoing.
Oh, so like you knew you were wrong in your dream.
No, I thought I was right the whole time, and they pulled up the link
Oh,
and held it up to me and said they did not win the Super Bowl in 2010. Here's the clip you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
It's dated
yeah.
2010, and I just started screaming, "That can't be true. That
That was
can't
my
be
last.
true," for like
That
for
was.
like an
I remember.
hour. I just kept yelling, "That can't be true. It simply can't be true."
It can't. This can't be happening.
I've lied to so many people, and then they were like, "Why the fuck have you been telling that story to so many people?"
Why have you done?
I don't know.
So
I
don't know.
was he a little fella?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, he
Tracy
was, he
Porter. It was Tracy Porter. He was like 5'10", and he was playing like a 2 out of 10 game, and he got a pick six to win.
Yeah, fuck that game. That was my last Super Bowl in the States, and I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. So
Oh, I can't fucking
Yeah.
stand Peyton Manning.
I love the Mannings. I'm a Giants fan, and I rooted for the Colts when Peyton was there.
Why is his head so big?
It's knowledge, dude. The smartest
Steroids.
quarterback to ever play the game.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, like the thing he did, like if he really did it, which he probably did, that's just based. Like this
What
fucking poor trainer, 19-year-old trainer girl, like walks in and like fucking
Aw.
Peyton slaps his fucking huge nuts onto her face and like gets some other guy's attention. Like that's fucking based if he actually did that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look it up because it was some crazy feat that he did where he has to that he like you read it and you're like he has to have a humongous dick and like a abnormally large nutsack to have been able to pull this off.
Have you heard that
It's like-
story about when the Super Bowl was in Vegas and they showed up like a week before for training and the whole team went to the casino and everyone was around the dice table or around the red and black spinny thing, you know? You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what that's called, like roulette. And everyone's around it, and Peyton Manning gets off the bus wearing a cowboy hat, and everyone just turns and looks at him, and he goes like, "That red number 12 looks mighty fine," and then he just walked off, and the whole room put their money on the red 12, and it landed on it the very next one.
What?
Peyton
It's
Manning
a
is
true story.
precognition.
That's pretty
It's a true
gnarly.
story. It's written
Where?
somewhere.
Where?
Where?
Where? I need
Fucking the annals of time, dude. What do you mean?
Got a point there.
What else is going on?
Just hanging out.
Anyone else remember when those Thai boys were like trapped in that cave?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
man.
them.
Did they get out?
Oh,
That
you-
made me so horny.
when Elon saved them, you
Huh?
remember?
I don't remember who saved them, but man, I was torqued up.
Why?
Oh.
I don't know, just the whole time that was going on, I was just like, damn, I can't believe this.
Like the,
Well,
was it
what do you
because of
think
the
about this-
experience Or just the whole.
Someone just the whole thing. I don't know. Someone out there has like a really specific fetish for like little Thai boys getting trapped in a cave,
Right.
and that person is me.
Elon Musk.
Oh.
He was involved, wasn't he? Or he like tweeted about it or something.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah, he called the dude that
I
saved
know
him
how to
fire.
save them or something.
Yeah.
Island.
Oh yeah, that's news. I had a joke. What if Epstein shows up to the UN wearing a little hat or a badge that says like Pedo Island, and that's
That'd
like
be
he's
hilarious.
representing them at the
Did you mean
UN?
Molly Island?
Yeah. Same.
That's the
Whatever.
joke. Oh.
When they talk about little girls, what age are they talking about?
Like,
What?
you'd like it. Don't worry.
What?
Shut the fuck up. Stay high.
Like, what?
Like fucking children that they kidnapped.
Yeah, but like little, like under 6 or like above, or like
They
under
were-
16.
As low as 14.
Why does it matter?
Because
Wait,
it's a
what
different
did Steph
fetish.
say?
Why does it matter? He wants to know how old the girls were that they fucking raped at Pedo Island.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't
mean-
really matter. I just kind of was curious. Is really that's all. It's
Yeah, that's a legitimate question.
How?
Because it's different.
Because like
It was little girls.
here-
That's all we
here,
know.
little girls. I hear That's exactly. You just said the reason. You tell me little girls are raped on an island. That's all you know. I want to know more. I want to know like how little.
Yeah, how little? Like what? Like little tiny children or?
I'm not gonna look it up because I don't want that shit.
No, I get that. I get that. I'm just saying, like, it's a legitimate question. So this lady said she was examining Peyton Manning's foot, and that she felt something on her face, and Peyton had placed his testicles and anus on her face.
What?
What a fucking legend.
So this guy like
That just
pulled
completely 180'd my Peyton
So
Manning.
he turned around, pulled ass cheeks apart, and like squatted on her face.
Dude, that's gnarly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's fucking gnarly if he actually did that. That's
What did she do about it? Just laugh?
I guess take it.
No. She says she pushed him away and just stood there, and then Peyton and another guy that was there with them just laughed about it.
What?
There was
Man.
another guy there watching that?
Fucking
Yeah,
good,
like
boy.
another member of the Tennessee football team.
That's funny.
Hey man, watch this. That was back when they.
Hey man,
Hey man. Hey man.
Omaha.
Omaha.
Omaha. Oh my god. Hey man, watch this.
32 Omaha Hut. Y'all remember fucking Tennessee was wild back in the day. That was when Lane
Tennessee was
Kiffin was
good.
their head coach, and they fucking like legitimately would send UT cheerleaders to go like fuck possible recruits to convince them to come to UT. And they asked Lane Kiffin, they were like, Lane Kiffin, are these allegations true? And he was like, yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why would I deny that? Of course I do that. That dude was a fucking legend. When he was Alabama's offensive coordinator, he would go out to bars whenever we'd have away games and like introduce himself to girls as Joey Freshwater. And there's like text screenshots between like Snapchats he'd send like co-eds from the alias Joey Freshwater where he's just like, "No, I'm not married.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
quite,
you can come on the team bus."
Joey
What
Freshwater.
a
he was
legend.
fucking quite the character. Like,
Yo, you remember
Yeah.
that guy that had a fake girlfriend at like Hawaii or something?
yeah,
Oh,
fucking
fuck, Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
Manti
Yeah.
Te'o. Dude,
Fuck that
we
guy.
fucking all that shit came out right before the Bama national championship, and we fucking
Yeah.
run them up 42-7. Man, that was nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
scored
scored in like
they scored in the final quarter against like the fourth string.
yeah, it was 35-0 in the fourth with like 2 minutes left, and they scored.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know nothing about football.
That
Oh,
year.
dude, I miss football.
That year, a lot of people say, and I'm not saying I agree with it. In fact, I don't. But a lot of people say that specific year, the fact that Notre Dame made it and lost so bad just showed like how terrible everybody was that season,
Yeah.
and Alabama was just coming off a dominant season, you know.
I mean, it was one of those seasons like it could have been LSU, but they lost to Bama, and we'd already seen what happens when you let
that's
that
like the-
rematch happen.
That's pretty much the story every single year, early season.
Yeah.
It could be Alabama or
It could have
LSU.
Yeah, it's whoever won between those two won the national championship.
Yeah.
I miss the days when Florida was in it too.
Yeah, when Florida was in the mix, it was a lot cooler. I remember like two huge like victories as an Auburn fan growing up was against Florida.
Yeah,
Beat them when they were like #1 and #2, and both
yeah.
times on like blocked field goals, which is just amazing.
I remember when we fucking
Auburn used to block field goals left and right. That was like a thing they used to do. They
damn.
haven't been good at that in years.
I remember the SEC championship. We beat the undefeated Florida and made Tim Tebow cry, and
Cry, yeah.
He had John 3:16 written on his fucking face, and he was crying. It was like 48-12, and he was on the sidelines crying.
Hold on, I'm looking through my fucking old SP folder, like, and I have like every image that we're talking about.
Dude, post that shit. Do you remember posting just the Arizona Cardinals logo with the green text, "My face when an American is fat near me," and you get an instant ban for that? Cardinals.
I'm looking for the one
Dude,
about.
Tim Tebow has been dogged like to hell and back. Like, you remember a couple years ago when his girlfriend dumped him and went to the presses saying she dumped him because he wouldn't have sex with her because he was a Christian?
That's good.
And everyone was like calling him a loser.
It's
Look
kind of
at Group
crazy
Gang.
how he was like, I
Fucking
don't watch
bait.
football, but I see him in baseball now. He's on the Mets now.
Is he?
Yo, look at that image.
Damn.
That was like proof
I
that
fucking
Tim
love that. Damn.
316 yards that night, dude.
Dog, do you
Wearing John
remember?
316.
Do you remember fucking that when he was in Denver, that playoff game at home against the
Yeah.
Steelers? He scored on the
played
first
so
play of
bad.
overtime. And
Yeah.
it took him. He took him to New England for the fucking
Yeah.
AFC Championship game, and then he was just like not on a roster 2 months later.
Let it be hard, bro.
Tim
played
Tebow
that
is an
game,
American
but-
hero.
That Super Bowl was like the only game he ever played well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
But,
that the whole thing that season was people saying that like Tebow didn't even get them there. Like, didn't he replace somebody midway?
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah, they're
who,
like-
but somebody
remember
like
they're like-
fucking died.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember they're like 5-8 and they just
Literally?
won 3 straight and they got into the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
he dogged it up there for a while, but admittedly it was all against like shitty fucking like
Division.
West Coast fodder,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and they were like seriously all home games. But I miss that man. I met him once. He came to game day, college game day, for the Iron Bowl my sophomore year, and after the show he was just like shaking hands with people. He's super nice.
Yeah, I've never not thought he was a nice guy and all that.
I'll tell you who's an asshole though. I met Drew Brees. Saw Drew Brees walking through the airport, and I was just watching him, and there were some soldiers like coming home wearing their fucking military gear, just like getting off the plane with all their shit, and they see Drew Brees, and they're like, Drew Brees, come here, man, we love you, dude. And he just fucking like pulled his hat down over his face and like ignored the fucking army man.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I always root against Drew Brees.
I just hate the
Understandable.
Saints because after Katrina, suddenly everybody in Mobile, Alabama was a Saints fan, like just out of fucking nowhere, and I fucking hated them.
Yeah, that's kind of understandable in a way.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody in that city bandwagoned whoever was good at the time. Like now, everybody's a Falcons fan there.
That's kind of how it is in Alabama though, because we ain't got shit.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I ain't got a team. So
Yeah,
it's like-
everybody's a fucking Braves fan.
yeah, and for football, you flip between the fucking Saints, Falcons, fucking
Titans
other one?
sometimes.
yeah, Tennessee. What's the other ones in fucking Florida? The ones that's
Fucking
not Miami, Tampa.
Jags and Tampa.
Yeah,
And all
that's
the Dolphin
crazy.
fans
Florida has
came.
3 fucking teams, dude.
Yeah, how about fucking Cali has what, 4?
What sport are you
Oh,
guys on?
now they do, yeah. But they didn't used to. Football, American football.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got the fucking Niners, the Chargers, the Raiders,
The Rams.
fucking, and the Rams.
Is this college football or what?
No, it's NFL.
How do you have so many teams?
It's 32.
Well, it's just like population centers. Like we're not gonna have a team in fucking North Dakota, you know?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Really wish I could find this fucking image.
What else is going on?
Whoops. Almost died.
Love talking about football.
Well,
whoops.
Peru lost like the fucking American
Ah,
Cup.
yeah. Was it wild down there though when they made the final?
Yeah, especially since we beat Chile, like our greatest rival, to get in there, and like we
Beat the
them.
dog out of them too.
Yeah, shit on them 3-0.
Damn. I fucking stayed up to watch us lose to Mexico the other day. I don't know why I did that.
I was sick as hell all weekend, and then like Sunday was the game, and I was thinking like, if we win, like the whole city's about to pop off, and I'm gonna go like celebrate and shit. But
Damn.
that would have been like a huge fucking deal. We've never won like a Copa America, and like we're certainly never gonna win a World Cup, so that would have been like a fucking huge deal.
That kind of sucks though. Like for Bama having won like so many titles, when we won the last one, I was like out in the street in downtown Tuscaloosa, like a quarter mile from the stadium, and it was just like tame, just like a normal party Saturday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't like a parade or anything going on. No fireworks. Just normal.
Well, my city, when our home team wins a playoff game, we do like a red mile down like one of our downtown Ave. And they got like first place in their conference this year, and then they didn't win a single game at home. And we didn't get one party.
Based.
That was really disappointing, and you bringing that up just saddened me.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Nah, it's okay.
You're talking about hockey?
Yeah.
What is? How does hockey work? I've watched like 10 hockey games. Don't get it. What is
Step one,
icing?
hit puck.
What is icing?
You put the puck
Yeah.
in the goal.
Icing is when no one, if you pass the puck
It's like
across
offside.
all three lines and pass to the back red line and no one touches it. No, that's
Okay,
icing.
so that's like when you clear it, I guess.
So,
Yeah, like,
it
if you-
slides the
yeah, if you-
entire ice.
Yeah, if it slides from your zone to the other end of the ice, it's icing. So you can't just like
Dude,
clear the puck.
soccer should have some shit like that, cause soccer's fucking boring.
Well, soccer, like, they're in their zone, everyone's zone, like, all the time. There's offsides.
I know. I played soccer for like 12 years.
Oh, yeah, that's why you can kick a ball so high, right?
Yeah, higher than you.
You'd think you would be able to kick it higher than him if you played 12 years.
Yeah, cause I can.
Uh,
All right then.
Oh.
Settled.
I'm not gonna fucking hear any more about it.
Simple
It's just
as.
fucking ended. We all saw the videos. Mine went higher.
Can you enlighten the guests or the viewers? I don't think they know what you're talking about.
All right, fine. Stay High was like, look how high I can kick a ball, and I was like, it's not even that high. And he called me out, and so I owned him. Mine was in the air 3 full seconds longer than his.
How long was yours long? How long was yours in the air?
Mine was up there for 22 seconds, and yours was only up there for like 4 or 5.
3-second difference.
It felt like 3.
Oh my god.
Just
Well-
the heat of competition made time warp, kinda.
No, it do that though.
Yeah, it does.
Mm.
how can I not find this fucking
What are you looking for?
fucking meme about the whole situation with the guy who got catfished before the national championship?
Oh, Manti?
Or like for 3 years before the national championship. He was with her like some fucking long ass time, man. It was really
Yeah, I feel
embarrassing.
bad. I feel bad for the guy, honestly.
No, I sincerely remember thinking it should have been a lot worse for him than it was. Like niggas just didn't talk about it. It was a thing in the news for a couple days, dude.
You know why nobody talked about it? Because everybody, or fucking a large percentage of people were like, holy shit, have I been catfished for a long ass time?
It was a real wake up call. Like this shit can happen to anybody, dude. Like
Yep.
this was like
I remember
Yeah.
it was like after that happened, it was like suddenly catfish was just a national thing. Like
Yeah,
no one ever
that's
talked
when
about it before.
Catfish the TV show came out, and I'll tell you what. Also, that's about when Snapchat came out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's all tying together.
What?
Damn,
Damn.
we're breaking it down here.
What do you use Snapchat for though? Well,
Well, I just like snap the fellas now. I don't even have Tinder anymore. So
Yeah, same here. Before our group on Snapchat, I hadn't used Snapchat in like well over
Yeah.
2 years.
yeah.
It breathes life into my Snapchat
why'd you delete Tinder?
career.
I don't know. It just makes me feel like shit. I don't. It just feels like not real. You know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't. I feel like if I'm gonna meet a girl, I should have to do it in person. I feel like Tinder's like easy mode.
Did you meet your last girl in person?
Yeah, at first, but then I matched with her on Tinder later.
Well, that's weird.
Wasn't it Bumble?
It was Bumble, yeah.
Alright, I fucking found the pig. It's
Dude,
fucking
that shit-
sad.
She was too good for Tinder.
Did I show y'all that shit she sent me though?
No, please.
I'll post it.
I'll post it
It's gonna make me
Find it.
sad. Is it gonna actually make me tear up?
No.
I could have sworn you've probably seen it before, but
I'm pretty sure we have seen it.
I don't know.
I don't
Feel
remember
free to
where.
post it again though.
Real football, real girlfriend. Fucking, is that Johnny Manziel
Yeah.
and AJ McCarron?
Yeah, AJ McCarron, yeah.
God, I fucking miss AJ McCarron so much.
Dude, I saw that on SP and I posted it on Facebook and like every fucking it's like my most liked post on Facebook ever. It's like it's like all my friends are Bama fans, you know? It's like
Yep. Alright, I wake up, or imagine, I go to sleep at like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I feel like shit, but tomorrow, you know, hope of a new day, maybe it'll be a good day, I'm gonna
and
give
it's
it a
just, like,
chance.
the
I
same
fall asleep,
shit day.
I wake up, check my phone,
Sure.
and had received this.
I am ducking ducked. What the fuck? You're
Was she going to kill herself?
Why would she say that?
What?
I don't know. She like got
Wait,
really drunk.
that's your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
Amber.
She got fucking like drunk at a bachelorette party or something and just was like, you know what, I'm gonna tell Will that I'm glad that we didn't actually date.
Even though I wouldn't have like actually dated you.
Yeah,
What-
that's
what
her.
does it mean?
That's her. And I'll tell you what that means. That's her trying to downplay it to you so she can believe herself that it didn't mean that much.
Okay, well all I sent was okay, cool, so.
Okay, cool. Glad you feel that way.
Oh man.
Great opinion.
Not gonna lie. You should have sent her poach for the fellas.
I did that once, but I
Yeah,
don't,
that's
I
why
can't
I'm
find
saying.
that one.
I think I said it because I think you did that to her, like when you were first chatting to her, and it would
Yeah.
have been like close out the cycle the same way.
You still have
Hugh,
her
you-
number?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do
Send her
I'm
blue
not-
dog. Send her blue dog.
Oh, I spent all day yesterday I sent like 25 girls blue dog yesterday.
Send it to her.
You
Send her
gonna
blue
ask
dog.
me something? Will?
On what?
Uh,
Were you just on Facebook or?
no, I just opened up my fucking I just opened up my contacts and every name that was a girl, I just texted blue dog.
Well. that
Man,
works.
I remember at fucking Boy State.
Yeah.
I got
Ludo.
I got janked on for not having enough girl contacts in my phone, but it was because I had to, because you know, like that was literally like how you could tell if you were popular back then. Like you had to have like a 2.5 to 1 girl to boy contact ratio in your phone, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Who the fuck was
I
looking at
had
your
just
phone?
we were at fucking Boy State, which is this thing like a simulation government thing where a bunch of high school students get sent to a university in the state and do like a simulation government state government
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, awful.
It's a pretty cool thing. Will Holt did it too. And,
Yeah, though the Tennessee one was really military so than government.
Who is
Like we
that?
still had the
So-
city, we still had the cities and elections, but we like no shit had to march in formation.
That's nuts.
It's kind
It
of
was
weird.
actually it was pretty cool. Actually, I enjoyed it.
But
I kind of cheated
so
at
yeah,
that shit. Oh, the like
What
contacts,
shit?
the girls in contacts. Remember how Facebook used to sync your fucking contacts and
Yeah, boy.
oh, yes,
so like I kind of got it like cheaty because I had almost
yeah.
every girl in my Facebook friends list was my contact. So
It's okay. It only matters what other people thought. Like,
y'all,
it's okay.
that's how I had to. They were like, "Damn, dude, you got her number?" I was like, "Yeah, she got it on Facebook." I didn't say it. Though. I was just like, "Y'all." I was like, "She gave it to me. It's not just public on her Facebook."
Damn. That's true. I remember when that happened to me too when I got my first smartphone.
I don't know. People in my high school were like extremely sociable and were just like, "Hey, give me your number."
He is that
Just,
color.
like, constantly.
He is blue dog.
Just like
Well, I
Yeah,
had
Hugh.
just
that
gotten
color.
I had just gotten this new phone before going to fucking Boys State. Like, my mom was like proud of me for being chosen to go there, and I got my new phone and shit. And like, you know, back in the day, you had to fucking type in your contacts one by one when you got a new fucking phone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't quite gotten around to it. So it's like the third day, like at night when we're just hanging out in the dorms, and like all the fucking tanners from the other high schools are like sitting around and dipping and like,
Dipping.
you know, and I'm sitting there chatting the shit with them too, and everybody's on their phones and shit, and like this girl that I was texting texts me a picture of her friend in a bra, and she's like, we're in sleepover, and I show
Oh fuck.
I show the fellas, and they're like, "Oh shit, fucking, you know, Hugh's got fucking girls," like, and like one guy snatches my phone out of my hand to like see the picture, and then like next thing he's like scrolling through my contacts, and he's like, "Dude, you only got like 3 girls in here, bro. You must be a loser." And like everybody
Oh,
started fucking,
damn.
yeah, everybody started fucking shanking on me, dude. And like what he didn't mention is that like there were 3 girls out of like 10 contacts, which is like.
Yeah, this pretty good ratio there.
Well,
Not
there's
terrible
mom,
when you-
dad.
I had my first dip at Boys
exactly.
State.
When you also account that out of those 10, 4 were mom, dad, brother, sister. So I had mom, dad, brother, sister, 3 girls. That's 7, and like 3 other dudes. So like I was even pretty much.
Hmm.
Oh my god, these combos are hilarious.
I had my first dip at Boys State, and I just walked it
here.
in there. I walked it in there, and we were standing in formation, getting our like
Yo,
rundown
it
for the
reeks.
morning, and I like fucking face planted on the pavement.
Yo, how did we not like know this about each other? I did it for the first time at Boys State too.
Was Alabama Boys State is in Tuscaloosa, right?
Well, that year it was. It's in different universities every year.
Oh, okay. It was there last year when I was there for the summer.
Yeah.
But ours was in fucking Cookeville, Tennessee, which if you don't know where that is, it's like way the fuck up in the mountains. And it's like hard as hell to get to, and it's fucking just hot. It was so hot. And we had to march and be in formation outside like all day. They said on the first day that no one had ever like called their parents to get picked up in the history of Tennessee Boys State. And our year like
Yeah, they're
12,
just saying that
12
shit.
dudes did it.
Sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, they
No,
probably would
that's
just say it.
completely possible.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm like high as fuck, and I'm tripping out now because the story I just told. Remember, I said like some girl sent me a picture of her friend like in her bra. Like
Yeah.
the girl who sent the picture of her friend was this wanted to fuck so bad, and like
go back
like,
and crop
when
that out in the edit and post.
And oh fuck, I said her name like her.
It's one of those names that
No
could
one's
have a bunch
listening
of
this
ways.
far into the fucking podcast.
Could have a bunch of ways to spell it, so you're fine.
And there's also probably a million of them on here.
Anyways. And like
Also,
ever
Will
since I
didn't fucking blurt out the number in one of those pictures. Just her number
Don't-
is there.
I sent one when I was doing this yesterday, whenever it was, that had my fucking phone number in it, and I kept it up there for like 6 minutes before I realized.
I love that picture. Blue dog, purple's better. Retard.
Retard.
I fucking got her to send me simple as.
Are you happy about that?
But yeah,
What a white girl name.
Fucking, that girl who sent the picture, she's fucking like, after I left the States 9 years ago now, like, ever since then, like 4 of my homies have like been with her, like in
My
a
man.
relationship. Like 4 of my buddies, so I'm like, at least my homies got to hit. Cause like we all wanted to fuck her, like
We
It would
count
be a-
those where I'm from. If your
it would
homie
be a
hits it,
thing.
you hit it.
it would be a thing. Like we had a fucking group chat on Facebook and we would talk about it. Like, yo, why are you with her now? Like, didn't he just break up with her? Like, yeah. And but now she's married to like a complete stranger from a different state and shit.
I hate when that happens.
She's still sexy as hell though.
Every girl I know should like only get with my friends or me.
Yeah, for real. Yo, today at work, fucking my fucking blowjob coworker surprised the hell out of me.
What?
Cause
With a blowjob?
We all know who that is, or is it only me? Wait.
I know.
y'all know who blowjob coworker.
Yeah,
we
well,
all
yeah,
remember
yeah.
Blowjob coworker.
Yeah.
She's a OSG podcast legend.
Staple.
She's a
Staple
regular
of the
on this.
She has no idea.
There's one of my fucking coworkers who has blown me a couple times and like refuses to have sex. And
Yeah.
like, and
What's it
we were
about for her?
talking. We were talking this morning, and I'm trying to remember how we got on the subject. Oh yeah, my other coworker like shows blowjob coworker a screenshot, and I like catch it out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, that looks like a meme I shared the other day, and it was like this screenshot of the guy who like sent a girl a message on Facebook and was like, I'm a nice guy and you're a piece of shit and a whore because I'm trying to be
Yeah.
a nice guy and talk to you. It was like 6 screenshots long or some shit, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw that, and blowjob coworker goes in Spanish. She's like, that's one of those incels, right? And I
Este
was like-
uno incelo.
She's like, ese es un incel, no? And I was like, yeah, that. And I was like surprised, and I was like, yeah, it's possible. It might be fake, but it's possible. It's an incel, likely. And so my other coworker asked like, what's an incel? And we explained, involuntary celibate, blah blah blah. And then like blowjob coworker goes like, yeah, and like. They all like worship this one incel who killed like a bunch of people. and I swear to God this happened, guys. I swear to God.
Dog, she's
And I-
hiding her power level.
Yeah, she's like, she just knows a ton of shit because she's in so many fucking feminist groups on Facebook. And I was like, are you talking about Elliot Roger? And she's like, yeah, the guy in California, right? And I was like, how the fuck do you know about young nigga
Eliota
Rojas?
How do you
and
know
she's
about
like,
the legend?
yeah, and she's like, yeah, I've heard about him and like I read about him in my feminist groups that like talk about incels and stuff. And then she was telling me how about like her and her feminist friends actually infiltrated like an incel hub in Peru that was like, like it was like a bunch of like stinky 12-year-olds like just dicking around like coordinating harassment towards Peruvian influencers and stuff.
Damn.
And they infiltrated their Discords and WhatsApp groups and everything. Like this girl knows what Discord is because she's involved so much with feminism and like.
Get her on the
battling-
pod, bro.
Yeah, get
Nah,
on.
never.
I know about the secret incel group. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, like, do you want to see a real incel group? I'll show you. Do you want- And I've explained to them like, yeah, the internet like gaming community is like very weird. Like everybody's ironically racist, like for the laughs of it, and like,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I've always said that it's just like you're just saying you're saying the word you're not supposed to say. Don't
I
really
told
care.
her-
Don't really
I
care
told
what
her-
the word means
Yeah.
or anything.
I told her like it's like this when I'm on the internet with gamers, if they're American.
When I'm gaming,
When I'm gaming, if they're American, it's nigger, nigger, nigger. If they're European, it's packy, packy, packy. If they're fucking South American, it's vene, vene, vene. Like,
What was she just like throwing up at this knowledge? Just
no,
disgusted.
she was like, yeah, that's what they. She was like, yeah, like she gets it, like. She
Oh, that could be your in. You could like
got it. She just
you could, like,
she just thinks it's disgusting and doesn't understand why anybody would do it. But she got it.
you could like show her
That's
group
fine.
like the RuneScape
Yeah.
like community, and that could be your in. You're like, yeah, see, I care about
Dude,
your shit.
I wanted to fucking bust out laughing when she was like, "Yeah, there's one of them that's like their god, like they all worship him because he killed a bunch of people."
Y'all remember
He didn't
when
even kill any people.
Fit trolled
And like
Fox
incel
News
wasn't a thing.
about him?
Incel wasn't even
No,
a
I'm
thing
pretty
when
sure he
Elliot
killed-
Roger
I'm pretty
happened.
sure there were deaths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he killed. First of all, he killed like, I don't remember if he
low kill
killed more
count.
girls than men, but he killed
Couldn't
like what
even kill
7
people,
people,
right?
and didn't he just
He, like-
he
like,
just
drove by a
run
car.
over?
Couldn't
Yeah,
get laid, couldn't kill people.
he like ran over
He just
random
hopped
people.
in the
so we don't
Thanos
even-
car and just drove on by.
So we don't even know like if he killed more women than men. We could look
Yeah.
that up, but let's.
And
assume
now he's up there with
And it's like-
Harambe and Tupac.
and like incels weren't a thing when he happened.
Y'all want to get
Well, like-
Nico in here?
Hell no.
He's an incel though.
That's true.
Yeah, still.
We could
What
not.
does
get
he
his-
sound like?
He has a really deep voice.
Oh, what the fuck?
How deep?
Yeah. He joined once and just called me a retard and left.
True.
I'm gonna actively try and get him on real quick.
What a guy.
Alright.
Nah, he's awful. I'll say it to anybody.
Well, I didn't mean it like in a good way.
What else is going on?
Mm,
Any news? Anything?
Literally nothing.
Any earthquake lads about?
Yeah.
I was
Oh
watching
yeah,
the
what's
ball
the
game.
deal with the
That shit started
earthquakes? There's
shaking.
been a lot of earthquakes like down here too.
Yeah, I was watching
Like,
the
are people in the
Angels game
States
and that
freaking
shit
out
started
about
shaking.
earthquakes?
Spooky.
Joe Rogan was posting about earthquakes. What's going on? Is there like a lot of earthquakes in the states?
Yeah, there's some earthquakes like 30 miles outside of Los Angeles, and like all the geologists?
Sure.
Geographer?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You had it right
Well,
there.
all the rock scientists are like, yeah, this is very clearly just like pre-earthquake, and there's a huge one coming soon.
Oh dear.
Fuck, that's
So-
scary, man. Like
God
the
is
same
finally
thing.
getting his revenge on Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
it's actually finally gonna actually be happening.
Check
Yeah, the
CNN.
same thing happened down here. Like over the last month, we had like a 2-week span where there were like fucking 5 or 6 pretty strong tremors. Like,
Damn, I've never felt an earthquake.
Damn me
I
neither.
have once. There was this
I've,
one
like,
time. It was
slept
like the
through one.
Virginia earthquake or something a couple years ago.
Hmm.
never forget.
I remember that was the first earthquake and the only one I've ever experienced.
I've been through like 6 tornadoes and 2 hurricanes though.
Oh
Never
yeah, I
been
lived through
through-
Sandy. Remember Sandy where I lost power for 8 months?
Yep.
8
Yeah,
months?
Yup.
Yeah, I'll
I
tell
was
you what.
never out of power for longer than 2 weeks.
Sandy like
We got
wasn't even
bugs and
Sandy wasn't bad where we were at the time, and we were like playing outside in the rain and stuff because it wasn't lightning or anything.
outside. Yeah, I played in my backyard during Katrina, dude. Like,
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy fucked us really hard for 8 months.
Damn.
Sandy hit Mobile worse than Katrina too.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Mobile didn't really get hit by Katrina all that terribly. It took our roof, but we got a fucking brand new roof. Like, my mom was fucking lit.
Mm.
Damn. But tornadoes were cool as fuck. My dad used to fucking go outside with a camcorder
Yeah.
and fucking just film pitch black off the front porch, and all you could hear was wind, just like for like fucking 4 hours, and you could seriously only see black. And we still just have those. It was like tornado, Atlanta, Georgia, September whatever 1998.
Gnarly.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen a tornado.
They're horrifying.
I
No,
bet,
they really
dude, but
are.
I always wanted to.
The ones I've seen, they were all really skinny, which they say the wind is like harder on those.
Yeah.
There's this
Makes
one
sense.
video where
Travel
this
with
dad and
this.
his daughter are in like a house and
God.
sort of in the downstairs basement, and the second half, like the top half of the house, just kind of tears off.
Yeah.
That shit's like insane. And
Yeah.
also, have you heard Chicago's sirens for their tornadoes?
Yeah. Fucking Young Lean sampled it for a song.
They're fucking
Young
scary.
That's pretty based.
Yeah, they're
I
like
would've found
terrifying.
that.
and scary. They're like nuclear war scary.
I linked it if you don't know what they sound like. It's insane.
Fucking
Well, it's
Fucking
probably the
Tuscaloosa
tornado,
got fucked up by tornadoes a few years back too.
yeah. Every time every time the anniversary of that tornado killing those students comes around, at like the time the tornado hit, the bell tower on campus, Denny Chimes, plays fucking Fields of Athenry, like just from the bell, and like that shit fucking like makes me cry actually.
It's different. Yeah.
But yeah, Young Lean sampled that video in the song.
It's fucking scary, like actually.
Yeah, it's horrifying, really.
To the listeners at home, the song is Hoover
Hoover.
by Young Lean. Hoover.
Hoover.
I thought you
Hoover.
were about to like read the title of the YouTube video or something. I'm not gonna lie.
What is the title of the YouTube video?
What, you mean the link?
Hoover.
Well,
Oh.
that's what it's called.
Hoover.
Alright, whatever. I don't know what's going on.
Guess so long. you've been
No,
recording.
I mean, I thought you were about to read like the fucking title of the YouTube video. That's the Chicago Sirens.
Oh. No, just Google scary Chicago siren, you'll find it.
There's this one. There's a one that I think is really bad because it has footage of the tornadoes.
I talked about those fucking I think I've talked about this before a bit, where there's like there's like train autism,
Yeah.
where you just like it says have like an air raid siren autism, where you just sit around and listen to various. You're like
There's
familiar
this-
with the models of air raid sirens.
No.
There's this guy on YouTube
Yeah, that's true.
that was like, it came out several years ago, like on 4chan. It was all over the place, and he was like, someone who had thousands of videos of him just making these like Thomas the Tank episodes with his toy Thomas the Tank trains,
What a legend!
like hours and hours long.
What? Just recreating? Or making
Yeah,
his own?
and he's like Australian and just, I think he was making his own. I'm not sure. I don't fucking know Thomas the Tank.
That's pretty cool.
That's fucking horror. That sounds like fucking Heaven's Gates opening.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
timestamped that to
That
like.
sounds like the fucking wailing of souls from hell.
Like there's
and you
this one episode.
and you see those two gigantic twin tornadoes in front of you, like.
Yeah,
fuck
the light gray one on the left is what all the ones I've been through looked like. And those
Well,
some
imagine,
bitches
like,
fucking
waiting-
move like fast.
Yeah.
No, a lot of my early memories of my childhood were getting woken up in the middle of the night by like my terrified, frantic mom saying like you have to come downstairs and get in the bathtub and like hide out for the rest of the night because there's a
Yeah.
tornado like
I
outside.
remember we had a tornado scare when I was younger, and that was one of the scariest moments of my life. Like, I was so
Yeah.
terrified. The sky was just—it was like 2:00 p.m., but the sky
Yeah,
was
and
just
it's
black.
just yeah,
It's nighttime.
fucking nighttime.
Hmm.
Damn, nature's scary sometime.
Yeah, I'd be doing crazy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Hugh, did you watch that timestamp?
Timestamp
I timestamped that video.
of what?
That tornado.
Oh, tornado.
That
Does,
shit hit.
does anyone have anything interesting to say?
I'll finish this Warcath kill and watch it. I mean, I think we've had a more interesting than usual podcast. Well,
This was the most civilized podcast we've ever had.
Yeah, it started out great and it stayed pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
happy with it.
I think we're gonna call it 75 minutes, boys.
Oh,
not
oh
bad.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright. That'll work.
I'm gonna go eat. I actually have to get up early tomorrow. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Dude, I get fucking woken up every morning to dogs barking at like 8 a.m.
Me too. At fucking 7 or something.
Damn, I'm
Just,
jealous.
just furious.
Oh.
And they don't stop.
Man. Alright, well,
Alright.
I guess that'll do it. Thanks for listening, I guess.
Adios.
Bye
This has
bye.
been OSG Podcast episode 37.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Is it
Have a good
37?
one. Yeah.
Nice.